Not everyone who smiles in your face is your friend. Some people in our lives take pleasure in causing harm and chaos. Think about it. You could be sharing moments, trusting someone, only to discover they are the very source of your turmoil. Are you dealing with someone who drains your energy, manipulates your emotions, or constantly pushes your boundaries? In today's video, we're revealing the 7 signs you're dealing with an evil person, according to Buddhist teachings. These aren't just minor flaws. These are warning signs that you need to protect your peace. 1. Charming and charismatic at first. An evil person often appears charming and charismatic when you first meet them. They seem friendly, confident and likable, which draws people in easily. Buddhism warns us to be cautious of these appearances because beneath the surface, such individuals are deeply self-centered. They use their charm to seek admiration and attention, but their actions are driven by self-interest. They may appear to care, but they're primarily focused on their own needs, often at the expense of others. This charm is a mask that hides their true manipulative nature. They flatter, make promises, and appear generous, but only when it benefits them. Over time, their self-centeredness becomes clear, as they consistently put their desires above others' needs. 2. Controlling behavior. Another clear sign of an evil person is their controlling behavior. These individuals constantly try to dictate how others should think, act or feel, using manipulation to get their way. In Buddhism, true peace comes from letting go and allowing others the freedom to be themselves. But controlling people can't stand losing control. They often disguise their controlling nature as helping or guiding others, but their real motive is to dominate and have things their way. They might tell you what to do, criticize your decisions, or subtly guilt you into following their wishes. This behavior often shows up in both personal and professional relationships, creating a toxic environment that stifles others. Recognizing this controlling nature is essential for protecting your boundaries and maintaining your independence. 3. Lack of empathy. A lack of empathy is a defining trait of an evil person. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is central to Buddhist teachings, which emphasize compassion and kindness. However, individuals with a lack of empathy are indifferent to others' emotions and needs. They do not care about the impact of their actions on others and often dismiss or minimize other people's feelings. This indifference allows them to hurt, manipulate, and exploit others without feeling guilt or remorse. They see people as tools to be used rather than beings deserving of respect and kindness. This lack of empathy not only causes emotional harm, but also leads to a disconnection from the basic human qualities that foster positive relationships. Recognizing this trait helps you understand that their cold, unfeeling nature is not a reflection of you, but a deep flaw in them. 4. Master manipulators. How to spot and stop them. Evil individuals are often master manipulators who use cunning tactics to control others. In Buddhism, manipulation is seen as a form of deception that goes against the principles of honesty and integrity. Manipulators are skilled at reading people's emotions and using that knowledge to influence their actions. They twist facts, play mind games, and use guilt or flattery to get what they want, often leaving you feeling confused or doubting your own perceptions. They may act sweet and caring one moment, only to turn cold and manipulative the next, keeping you off balance. Their goal is always to have the upper hand, and they will go to great lengths to achieve it, often at the expense of others' well-being. Spotting a manipulator requires keen awareness. Look for inconsistent behavior, mixed messages, and emotional manipulation tactics. Setting firm boundaries and trusting your instincts are key to stopping their harmful influence and protecting your mental and emotional health. 5. Pathological lying. Pathological lying is a defining characteristic of truly harmful individuals and one of the most dangerous traits you can encounter. Unlike occasional lies that people might tell to avoid conflict or spare someone's feelings, pathological liars fabricate stories as a habitual, almost reflexive behavior. In Buddhism, truthfulness is a vital principle because it fosters trust, clarity, and authentic connections with others. Pathological liars, however, operate in a constant state of dishonesty, often blurring the lines between reality and fiction so seamlessly that it becomes nearly impossible to distinguish the truth from their lies. These individuals lie about anything and everything. Small, inconsequential details, major life events, and even things that seem entirely unnecessary to lie about. Their deception isn't just about manipulating others. It's also about constructing a false reality that allows them to avoid responsibility, gain sympathy, or appear more impressive than they really are. This habitual lying becomes a tool they use to manipulate situations, escape accountability, and control those around them. For them, lies are not just occasional missteps, but a way of life. One of the most damaging aspects of pathological lying is the impact it has on the people around them. The constant dishonesty erodes trust and leaves others feeling confused, betrayed, and emotionally exhausted. Over time, their lies can create a web of deceit that traps everyone involved, causing deep emotional harm. Those affected by pathological liars often find themselves questioning their own judgment, doubting their perceptions, and feeling constantly on edge, unsure of what to believe. This gaslighting effect can have long-term psychological impacts, including anxiety, self-doubt, and a pervasive sense of instability. Pathological liars are also adept at mixing lies with just enough truth to make their stories believable, which makes their deception even harder to detect. They might lie about their achievements to seem more accomplished, fabricate personal stories to gain sympathy, or twist facts to manipulate how others view them. Their lies are often told with such confidence and conviction that even the most discerning individuals can be fooled. This ability to seamlessly weave lies into their narrative allows them to control how others perceive them and deflect any criticism or suspicion. In personal relationships, pathological liars can cause immense damage. They often promise things they have no intention of fulfilling, lie to cover up their mistakes, and create drama to keep others off balance. Their dishonesty is not just a personal flaw, it is a weapon they wield to manipulate, control, and maintain power over those around them. Friends, family members, and partners of pathological liars often find themselves caught in a cycle of hope, disappointment, and hurt, as they repeatedly fall for false promises and deceitful behavior. Recognizing a pathological liar involves paying close attention to inconsistencies in their stories and patterns of dishonesty. They often contradict themselves, provide details that don't add up, or react defensively when questioned. When confronted with the truth, they may double down on their lies, shift blame onto others, or try to make you feel guilty for doubting them. This evasive behavior is a clear indication of their unwillingness to take responsibility for their actions or be honest with those around them. Protecting yourself from pathological liars requires setting firm boundaries and being vigilant about the information they provide. It's important to verify their claims independently when possible and to trust your own observations over their words. Remember Their lies are a reflection of their own issues, not a reflection of your worth or judgment. Keeping emotional distance, refusing to engage in their drama, and prioritizing your own mental well-being are key strategies for dealing with these manipulative individuals. Pathological liars create a toxic environment where truth and trust are constantly undermined. The best way to deal with them is to stay grounded in your own reality, recognize their patterns, and avoid getting caught up in their deceptive games. By maintaining your own integrity and refusing to be swayed by their constant dishonesty, you protect your peace and ensure that you remain connected to the truth in a world filled with their falsehoods. 6. Setting boundaries to protect yourself. Setting boundaries is one of the most crucial steps you can take to protect yourself from harmful individuals. In Buddhism, self-respect and the ability to maintain inner peace are essential practices. Boundaries are not just rules you set for others. They are a form of self-care that helps you protect your emotional, mental, and even physical well-being. People with toxic or evil tendencies often push and test these boundaries relentlessly, seeking to exploit your kindness, manipulate your decisions, and control your actions. Establishing clear boundaries involves recognizing your own needs, values, and limits, and having the courage to communicate them firmly. For example, if someone constantly criticizes or belittles you, setting a boundary might mean telling them that such behavior is unacceptable and distancing yourself if they continue. Boundaries can be emotional, like refusing to engage in arguments that leave you drained, or practical, such as saying no to unreasonable demands on your time and energy. They are vital for maintaining your sense of self and protecting your peace. People who lack empathy or exhibit controlling behaviors often see boundaries as a challenge rather than a limit. They might react with anger, guilt-tripping, or attempts to undermine your resolve. For instance, if you tell a manipulative person that you won't tolerate their lies anymore, they might try to gaslight you, saying you're overreacting or being unfair. These reactions are attempts to break down your boundaries and regain control. It's important to remember that this behavior is not a reflection of your boundaries being unreasonable, but of their unwillingness to respect you. Setting boundaries isn't always easy, especially when dealing with individuals who constantly push back. It can feel uncomfortable or even confrontational at first, especially if you're someone who naturally avoids conflict. However, boundaries are not about being harsh or unkind. They are about preserving your own well-being. You have the right to protect yourself from behaviors that harm you, even if the other person tries to make you feel guilty or responsible for their reactions. Boundaries are also a way to teach others how you expect to be treated. They send a clear message that you value yourself enough not to tolerate disrespect or manipulation. In Buddhism, this aligns with the concept of right action, behaving in ways that promote harmony and respect for oneself and others. By setting and maintaining boundaries, you are not only protecting yourself, but also creating a healthier dynamic in your relationships. One key to effective boundaries is consistency. Once you've established a limit, it's important to stick to it. This consistency helps reinforce your boundaries and prevents others from testing or crossing them repeatedly. For example, if you've decided not to engage in conversations with someone who constantly puts you down, sticking to that boundary sends a strong message that you won't tolerate disrespect, no matter how many times they try to bait you into old patterns. Setting boundaries can be empowering. It's a way of reclaiming your autonomy and showing yourself the respect you deserve. It helps you build resilience against toxic influences and fosters a stronger sense of self-worth. While some people may never respect your boundaries, Standing firm in them teaches you to prioritize your own peace and well-being above all else. Remember, protecting yourself is not selfish. It is necessary for a balanced and mindful life. Setting boundaries can help you build healthier relationships by clearly defining what is and isn't acceptable. Those who respect your boundaries will often respond positively, appreciating your honesty and clarity. On the other hand, those who constantly test or ignore your boundaries reveal their true nature, showing you who truly values you versus those who only seek to use or manipulate you. It's also important to practice self-compassion when setting boundaries. It's okay to adjust your boundaries as you learn and grow. They don't have to be perfect from the start. What's most important is your intention to protect your peace and well-being. Setting boundaries is a journey of self-discovery, teaching you to honor your own needs without feeling guilty. Remember that setting boundaries not only protects you from harm, but also serves as a powerful example to others. It encourages them to respect their own limits and fosters an environment of mutual respect and understanding. In a world where people often struggle with saying no, your boundaries can inspire others to stand up for their own needs, creating a ripple effect of healthier, more respectful interactions. 7. Boundary breakers. Boundary breakers are individuals who constantly push past the limits you set, showing a blatant disregard for your needs and personal space. In Buddhism, respecting boundaries is a fundamental aspect of harmonious relationships, reflecting the understanding that every person has their own rights and limits. However, boundary breakers ignore these principles entirely. They overstep, intrude, and behave as if they are entitled to your time, energy, and personal life, often making you feel overwhelmed, disrespected, or violated. These individuals may start by testing small boundaries, like showing up unannounced or interrupting you when you're busy, and gradually escalate to more significant intrusions. They might dismiss your feelings, ignore your requests, or even make you feel guilty for setting boundaries in the first place. For example, if you tell them you need time alone to recharge, they might belittle your need for space, accuse you of being selfish, or try to force their presence on you anyway. This constant breaking of boundaries is a way to assert control and make you feel powerless. Boundary breakers often disguise their behavior as care or concern, claiming they just want to be close or help you, but their actions consistently disrespect your autonomy. They may act hurt or offended when you enforce your limits, flipping the narrative to make you feel as though you're in the wrong for protecting your space. This manipulative tactic is designed to wear you down, making you question your right to set boundaries at all. It's a classic power play that serves their desire to dominate and control the relationship. In Buddhism, personal boundaries are seen as a necessary aspect of self-respect and self-care, allowing you to maintain your peace and well-being. Boundary breakers, however, see these limits as obstacles to their control. They might consistently interrupt your plans, make demands on your time, or expect immediate responses without regard for your own schedule or needs. Their behavior is not just disrespectful, it's an attack on your sense of self. Dealing with boundary breakers requires a firm stance and unwavering commitment to your own needs. It's important to communicate your boundaries clearly and assertively, without feeling the need to over-explain or justify them. For instance, a simple direct statement like, "I need you to respect my space and time," can be more effective than lengthy explanations that boundary breakers might try to twist or argue against. Being concise and consistent in your responses helps reinforce your boundaries and shows that you are serious about maintaining them. It's also essential to recognize that boundary breakers rarely change their behavior unless faced with consequences. This could mean limiting your interactions with them, cutting off contact when necessary, or reinforcing your boundaries by walking away when they are crossed. Protecting your peace is more important than appeasing someone who refuses to respect your limits. While this can be difficult, especially if the person is a close friend, family member, or colleague, it's crucial for your mental and emotional health. Boundary breakers often prey on those who are empathetic, kind, and hesitant to confront others, knowing that these traits can be exploited. However, standing up to them doesn't make you unkind or unempathetic. It shows that you value yourself and won't allow others to take advantage of your goodwill. By holding firm, you teach others how to treat you and reclaim your power from those who seek to undermine it. It's important to trust your instincts when dealing with boundary breakers. If someone consistently makes you feel uncomfortable, pressured, or disrespected, that's a clear sign that they are not honoring your boundaries. Trusting yourself is the first step in breaking free from their influence and ensuring that you are surrounded by people who respect and value your limits. Remember, boundaries are not just lines drawn in the sand. They are expressions of your worth and your commitment to your own well-being. Recognizing these signs can help you protect your peace and set necessary boundaries. While Buddhism teaches compassion, it also emphasizes the importance of self-protection and mindfulness in our relationships. Remember, it's okay to distance yourself from those who drain your energy and disrupt your inner harmony. Your peace is worth protecting. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's continue our journey towards peace and awareness together. Until next time, stay mindful.